The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios.
Hi, this is Mia Mosenzel, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing, available on Amazon.
The Mike Wagner Show, also brought to you by Illuminatical, the think tank of the future. The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, available on Amazon, highlighting the Book of David. And Heidi Tam Music, with her latest on HeidiTamMusic.com.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartradio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios, brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mosenzel Missing, also brought to you by Illuminatical, the think tank of the future. Visit facebook.com/Illuminatical. Also, Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of David, now on Amazon. Keyword Sweet Psalmist Serena Wagner. Also, Heidi Tam Music, appearing August 25th in Los Angeles. More details at HeidiTamMusic.com. We're here with a terrific gentleman, backed by Pop in Demand. He's an Indie Country Music Hall of Fame artist, TV radio host, and a veteran supporter from Waynesville, Ohio. And his career spans 40-plus years in the business, recognized by numerous publications, made numerous appearances, and collabed with RonniemcDowell, Leona Williams, and Richard Vincent. And he's deeply involved with the community and proud owners of Keeping It Country Farm with his wife, Donna. Also host of Traditionally Lynch, which is still going strong. Co-founder of Lovetattoofoundation, dedicated assisting veterans as well. And also, he's still keeping it country. How's he do that? He's also got a new album called Pulling Up the Covers, and we'll be playing Rest Your Love on Me at the end of the audio interview and more. I'm trying to keep it country here, folks. Live, ladies and gentlemen, the Plus Studio somewhere in Waynesville, Ohio. This guy knows how to keep it country. He's pulling up the covers. The multi-talented Richard Lynch. Richard, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us once again.
Well, thank you for having me, Mike. It's always a pleasure.
Well, it's great to have you. I'm back on too, Richard. So you're an Indie Country Music Hall of Fame artist, TV radio host, veteran supporter from Waynesville, Ohio. Your career spans 40-plus years, recognized by numerous publications, made a number of appearances, and collabed with RonniemcDowell, Leona Williams, and Richard Vincent. You guys are deeply involved in the community, proud owners of Keeping a Country Farm with your wife, Donna. You'll also host Traditionally Lynch and co-founder of Love Tattoo Foundation, dedicated in assisting veterans and also veteran retirees. And we had you on before, talk about right where it ought to be, and also Think I'll Carry On, Mending Fences, and more. But you got a brand new you're passionate about, called Pulling Up the Covers, featuring Rest Your Love on Me and more. And before we get to that, Richard, once again, very quickly, how'd you get started?
Well,
very quickly, a quick recap.
Well, thank you for having me. I sure appreciate it. Our schedule is full. We've been in the studio an awful lot. We just released this new Pulling Up the Covers CD in early July. We just finished 2 weeks ago another recording, a total of 12 brand new country songs that's going to be released in an upcoming fall release.
Wow.
Of all original music that I wrote or co-wrote. So yeah, our schedule is busy. Our entertainment platform here at the farm at Keeping It Country Farm has just been amazing. We've been bringing Grand Ole Opry star or national act once a month here to the farm. And that's been so much fun. Getting a lot of recognition with the new album, Pulling Up the Covers. A lot of people say, oh, a spin on words. I see what you're doing. Pulling Up the Cover songs. My wife creatively came up with that title for the name of the album, so she's a genius. But it's been a lot of fun. We've been really busy, been blessed, and we're doing what we love to do. We get to keep that real country music alive and well out there.
Mm-hmm. Certainly do. And of course, not only have a Keeping It Country Farm, you also have a radio show as well, too. I mean, that is genius.
Yeah, it is. We're very fortunate that kind of fell in our lap here in early May. There's a really strong terrestrial station here in southwestern Ohio, has 3 AM and 3 FM stations, all conglomerated together as one signal, and then and that's from 9 to 1 every Saturday morning. And it's called Keeping It Country with Richard and Donna Lynch on Real Roots Radio. So we're really proud of that. And the Real Roots Radio is kind of a giveaway. we're playing real traditional country music, some bluegrass, that stuff. It's kind of got that real feel, that kind of shows respect to our kind of country music, the traditional sound.
Certainly did as well, too. And of course, traditionally, Lynch has been going for quite some time. Maybe a bit about what you guys do on there, too. And that's been going strong, from what I understand.
It has, and the music there has been exponentially expanding. We hitched our wagon with a lot of wonderful artists that I've been calling my heroes for years, and now that we've been doing it for such a long time, I'm able to call my heroes my friends, and so that to me that's a success. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, I think that's amazing. Heroes to friends. I'm at to start accomplishing that. Hey, you're my hero. Let's be friends. Why not?
Well, it's really gratifying. And speaking of gratifying, I love playing live. I enjoy doing all the live shows and the touring and the playing. But for me, the most gratification that I get nowadays is to get in that studio and to hear these songs that I've been writing and the ideas that came from the kitchen table finally get in that studio and come to life, and I'm recording with some of the most incredible musicians in Nashville down there. And that's just so rewarding and gratifying for me to see them songs just pop out of them speakers. It just makes my chest swell up. You know what I
mean? Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing. I'm looking at some of these songs as well. You also had some other albums like Right Where You Ought to Be, Think I'll Carry On, Mending Fences, My Guitar Drips Country, Radio Friend as well. And I think of Radio Friends is like Radio Friends right here too.
You bet. That's exactly right. And that's kind of a play on words. I wrote that song, Radio Friend, from the passing of a lifelong friend. He was 96 years young, and he'd been on the radio for 70 plus years.
70 plus years. Oh my gosh. I think I'm too young for this, to be honest with you. I got a ways to go.
Well, I was just enamored with this gentleman. He played music as well. He was a well-decorated steel guitar player. He was into the Steel Guitar Hall of Fame. I grew up knowing his name. He played music with my dad. And my dad's the reason that I got into the music business. I was born and raised into that country sound. I would get up in the morning and Dad would be drinking his cup of coffee there at the kitchen table, and that old round top radio would be blasting some, back then it would be Buck Owens and Merle Haggard and all the wonderful sounds.
The tabletop radios. I remember that, the rich mahogany sound, or even get those white ones with that thing with the speakers, almost looking like the what was it, the dating game, or was it what was it, Newlywed Game? It's like those things you just
yes,
those speakers. My dad had that and played a Statler Brothers. Was it on AM 1160 WJJD? It's like, I think about those tabletop radios my folks would have on country or whatever. It's like, kids, you don't touch it. You want a radio, you go buy it yourself.
That's exactly right. But from that earliest recollection, I've been influenced by my dad and that traditional country music, and it still resonates today. And when I make a memory like that there, and it's really nice to have a disc jockey friend or the person that I'm speaking with make that connection as well, like you just did with the old round top radio. It takes memories. It takes memories back. And it also affects the listeners because, a lot of them have those same memories from that time era.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's just a wonderful thing to where music to me is kind of, it's supposed to jog a memory, and it's supposed to make you realize that, hey, at this certain time in my life, this song was really popular, and it makes me go back to that time. And I really enjoy music because it has that capability to transport you through time. So I'm really happy with the fact that we did this new album called Pulling Up the Covers. It's a testimony to just that. It's great songs from the 70s, 80s, and part of the 90s. Songs that influenced me the most, and I was took 14 of my favorites, got them on the air, and got them in the studio, and it's doing just that. It's making those great memories, and people are connecting with it.
Oh my gosh, something, you're jogging my memory. I talk about Buck Williams, to talk about the tabletop radios. I remember, my folks were playing on those big stereos. Remember those big stereos they had? They cost like $500.
Yes.
Like maybe a small TV. You had the turntable here. You went luxury, had a cassette deck, 8-track, and then you stored your albums, and some go up further. It's like, have like, what was it like? A liquor cabinet, or just attach a mini bar to it. It's like I hear Buck Owens just blaring through those big speakers. Like nowadays, it's like just real tiny and everything. I think I'm
Yeah,
right. Go
when
ahead.
you
I'm
talk
sorry.
about that timeline there, you just mentioned Buck Owens, but Roger Miller comes to mind. My grandpa was a huge Roger Miller fan,
Oh
and he would have
yeah.
stacks of albums of him. And there were so many other wonderful names: George Jones, Merle Haggard, Conway Twitty, Mel Street, Mel Tillis. All of those names from years gone past. The '60s, '70s, and '80s.
Hmm.
I can still remember those songs, those timelines, those artists. And this new album that I released is a testimony to those wonderful memories as a youngster. It was really hard to pick out 14 of my favorite songs. I've been playing music since 1978.
Hmm.
So we dug in, and my wife, she is a huge supporter and believes in me 100%. And I would let her listen to a song, and I really believe in her opinion. And ultimately, between the two of us, we come up with the 14 songs that I feel we delivered it exceptionally well, and it's really been well received around the country and around the world, actually.
Nice. Okay. And of course, one of them is Rest Your Love on Me and More. We'll get to that with the amazing Richard Lynch. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com. Powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give a official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those who love we did first go missing. It's available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews. In Evil Evan George by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and Minims. So grab your copy today, for It Goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Illumniptical, a humanitarian think tank that brings scientists and engineers together from all over the world, creating a method to construct a renewable generator with this in mind. This unique product operates on a closed-loop system that generates more energy internally that needs to function. The extra electricity can be used to run everything: homes, power generators, phones, and laptops. This power source is renewable, scalable, and more importantly, self-regenerate. For more information, visit facebook.com/illumniptical. That's ELLUMENIPTICAL on Facebook. Also, Sweet Psalmist is our new sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show by Serena Wagner, based on the book by King David, including 30 paintings and King David Psalms. Sweet Psalmist gives a new perspective of David through the Psalms he wrote and his time as a shepherd, where it started, and his complicated and turbulent relationship with King Saul. It's a story of love, betrayal, repentance, and more. Check out The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner on Amazon. Keyword Sweet Psalmist, Serena Wagner. And also the Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by High Time Music, featuring smash hit Baby Come Back and appearing August 25th in Los Angeles. Listen for the details at hightimemusic.com. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com on any mobile device. Make sure you take it with you on 40 podcast platforms. For great gift ideas, go to amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies. Makes great gifts 24/7. Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast, and check out the Mia Molson-Zia store on Amazon for books and great merchandise and more. And support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. We hear amazing indie country music Hall of Fame artist, TV, radio host, and more, Richard Lynch, here on the Mike Wagner Show. And pulling up the covers is one we're talking about as well. Before we talk about Rest Your Love on Me. Plus, you have, let's see, Memory Maker, Out of Hand, Riding My Thumb to Mexico, Old Country in the, on the Only Hell Mama Raised. I like that one. And Made in Japan and more. And I think we just kind of covered some of it. And tell us about some of the songs. If there's something I haven't covered, feel free to do so.
Well, thank you for that, by the way. I really sincerely appreciate being on your show, and I know you make that connection with a lot of artists, and let me be on your show. I'm so appreciative of. The 14 songs. We decided to release "Rest Your Love on Me" as our initial release from the album. it has an appreciation for the original artist. Barry Gibb from the Bee Gees actually wrote that song, and
I
Conway
remember that
Twitty,
song. Yes. Uh-huh.
and then Conway Twitty released it, and that's where I heard it, the version in the early '90s, and it was a super mega hit for Conway Twitty. So, and I've always been a huge Conway Twitty fan. So I definitely had to have a Conway Twitty, song on the album. But Michael Stover, as you mentioned earlier, he listened to the 14 songs, and between Michael and my wife, they said, "Hey, let's get "Rest Your Love on Me" initially out there because it was such a crossover song then, and it's generating interest from multi genres, I guess you might say."
Right,
And
just from all over the spectrum. So yes.
yeah, exactly. So when you hear the song "Rest Your Love on Me," people make the connection with the Bee Gees because they wrote it and recorded it first, and then the country folks will make the connection with it being that Conway Twitty recorded it, and so I'm paying an appreciation to the song. It didn't matter who wrote it to me. The song touched me as it will touch millions of people that hear it now from here on out. The song is that well written, and I'm really happy with the fact of my delivery was turned out to be as good as it did. I don't try to sound like anybody else, and therefore it has its own unique qualities. I know I just love the song, and I interpret it and sing it to my best ability without trying to sound like any other artist, if that makes any
Right.
sense.
Yeah. You don't want to sound too much like a copycat, sound like a Taylor Swift, sound like a Johnny Cash, or a copycat of Willie Nelson, whatever it is. You have to have your own voice.
Exactly. And so I try to give it plenty. I try to give each and every song that respect of its, that it's due, but I also wanted to give my own real delivery and my own take on every song, and being as close to respectful as the original song I could, but yet still giving it my own flavor to them, every one of them.
Certainly did as well too, and they always have Memory Maker, Out of Hand, Ride My Thumb to Mexico. I like that one. Made in Japan is also a good one too, and I love the one I'm the only hell mom ever raised.
That was written by a gentleman from Cincinnati, and Bobby Borchers was his name, and then recorded by Johnny Paycheck. Johnny Paycheck was a huge name in the country business in the 70s, 80s, 90s. So that was one of Johnny Paycheck's big songs, I should say. I've been singing that for decades upon decades in the live shows that I do.
Oh
And
my
I
gosh.
just wanted to make sure that I did that on my CD and let people know that song is still out there.
It's not just taking your job and shove it too. That's what most people think of.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
And I think there's also Made in Japan. I think there's some others I was trying to think which covered as well. And I think I was I think I ran out of room trying to write this, everything else. So if there's some other music you want to talk, feel free to do so from that album.
The first title song was, Memory Maker, which was an old Mel Tillis tune. So that's what this whole CD is basically about. And the conclusion song, the 14th song, is a Vern Gosdin song called "Till the End." So in all points between, the initial song "Memory Maker" and then the final song "Till the End," and the song "Till the End" was written by Vern Gosdin, and him and his wife recorded it. When I got in the studio, there's an amazing studio down there called Beard's Studio there in Nashville, and the young lady that did the background vocals and did it's almost like a duet without trying to be a duet. Her delivery on this song "Till the End" is absolutely amazing. Her name's Tanya, and she plays and sings with Trisha Yearwood and all the big names that's still doing it today. So I was very appreciative that I got to have her in the studio with me and land her on a recording here. And she's also on an old Charlie Rich song that we recorded on this particular album right now. I don't have my glasses on right now. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but anyhow. Rolling with the flow. Thank you, honey. She helped me out there in the background.
It's good to have your own producer back at the studio. They're always a big blessing, I'll tell you. So.
My wife, she takes care of me on every aspect of things, from the glasses to everything else. Yeah, Rolling with the Flow was a huge, big song by Charlie Rich back in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And Tanya, the lady that I'm speaking of, that was in the background vocalist, when you hear this song, her delivery of it, it's almost like you're hearing the original version, and she did it that well. I can't say enough about the studio players and the session players and the background vocalists and the engineer that worked so hard on this particular album. I couldn't be more proud of it there, Mike.
Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. And of course, if there's other music you want to talk about in the meantime, where can we find all your music at, especially Pulling Up the Covers?
Well, thank you. Yeah, Pulling Up the Covers has been a good one for me. And like I say, we're really proud of it. And it's our 8th full-length Nashville recorded album that's been released. And like I mentioned earlier, the 9th one has been recorded, and we're going to get that on the air and get that released later on this fall. So our schedule's been busy. We've been blessed to have some good songs that we've been writing and collaborating with.
Mm-hmm.
And I have one more bit of news too to tell you. In addition to the new one we just released, Pulling Up the Covers, the title of the up and coming album is Some Days Are Better Than Others.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the title track of the up and coming CD. And then later on this year, or the first of next year, we're going to be releasing an inspirational CD.
Wow. Okay.
10 of which I wrote, and then 2 would be cover songs. Kind of, I don't want to call them gospel, but they're gospel sounding,
Mm-hmm.
and they have that real good inspirational song. The songs that I'm so proud of. So those songs are recorded now and ready to be released at the end of the year or the first of next. So we've been very, very fortunate to get some great music out there.
Mm-hmm. And certainly D as well, too. And I forgot one more thing. How's that Love Tattoo Foundation coming?
Well, every show we do here at our farm, we do 6 shows. Well, this year we'll do 7 shows, June through November. And the Love Tattoo Foundation is an appreciation and a dedication to our men and women who served our military. So every show we do here at our farm, a percentage of the funds goes to either an Ohio-based veteran association or a Michigan-based veteran association, and we give the money to those people. And in my opinion, we can't do enough to help these people. They're so deserving. They've sacrificed. They asked for nothing, and so it's just our little way of being able to give back to a very deserving bunch of folks. And the military men and women, in my view, are more deserving than anybody.
Mm-hmm. And certainly did. And we salute those who fought and sacrificed and fought for our freedoms as well. And where can we find your music at and everything, Richard?
Well, just go to richardlynchband.com. We're on virtually every one of the musical, venues out there, the social media venues that's playing the music. I'm on every one of them. But if you go to richardlynchband.com, you can find out all my music, all my merchandise, all the tour dates, all our interviews, so many things that we do. You can learn anything and everything, probably more than you want to know about me, but that's the best place to go.
And we'll certainly definitely have you back with those albums as well, too. And there's more to know about Richard Lynch with Pulling Up the Covers here on the Mike Wagner Show. And Richard, is always a big thank you time. You're just totally amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Live have you back. And once again, what's your website? How do people
go to
contact you?
richardlynchband.com.
And then where are they purchase your music at besides Richard Lynch? Where else? Spotify, everything.
Any and all of the normal music venues, you can get them all on there.
All right, we'll certainly do that. Once again, Richard, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic as always. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. Wish you all best. And Richard, you definitely have a great future ahead of you.
Thank you, sir.
Maybe you don't know me any more than I know you, and I wouldn't blame you if you walked away. I've been watching you all evening with those teardrops in your eye, and it touches me much more than I can say. You know, I hate to think that someone could have hurt someone like you, and if I was him, I'd be right by your side. Lay your troubles on my shoulder, put your worries in my pocket, rest your love on me a while. Lay your troubles on my shoulder, put your worries in my pocket, rest your love on me a while. Saw you in the corner from the moment I walked in. Saw your lonely face across the room. No, I won't forget you and the way it could have been. Why'd you have to leave so soon? You know, I hate to think there's someone you loved instead of me, 'cause at times like this I'd be right by your side. Lay your troubles on my shoulder, put your worries in my pocket, rest your love on me a while. Lay your troubles on my shoulder, put your worries in my pocket, rest your love on me a while. Troubles on my shoulder, put your worries in my pocket, rest your love on me a while. Lay your troubles on my shoulder, put your worries in my pocket, rest your love on me a while.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hi, I'm Burl Barer, legendary American author, and I'm here to tell you about Missing, the new mystery suspense novel by Mian Mosensia. It's really a good book. Very surprising. Never metaphor I didn't like, especially in this book. Here you have a main character whose life life has been filled with despair. His wife died in 9/11. His young daughter died of a rare disease. He's not a happy camper. What does he do for a living? He's a physical fitness trainer. When somebody hardly knows, somebody he's never met, he only has encountered them on an internet chat line, goes missing, this is his journey. He's going to go rescue them. This is his search for redemption, his search for his own personal promised land. He couldn't do anything about the death of his wife, the death of his child, but maybe he could rescue this woman he's never met. That is, if she exists. Missing by me and Mosinzia, international in scope, vastly entertaining, full of surprises. I suggest you get it, neither paperback or an electronic edition for your Kindle. Missing by me and Mosinzia.
There's nothing like summer smooth jazz and R&B night at the View Music Bar. Join us Sunday, August 25th at 7:30 for a night filled with smooth jazz stars like Billboard charting artist Niels, award-winning songwriter and musician Michael Garvin, UK's top charting soulful artist Joe Levy, our very own SoCal's hitmaker, trumpeter CTK, and smooth jazz award-winning international charting vocalist Heidi Tan.
Spending all my nights, all my money going out of the town.
Don't miss this unforgettable evening at the View Music Bar and Lounge. Sponsored by Skin Protocol Med Spa, Fast Fix Jewelry and Watch Repairs, East Coast Artist Agency, Jazz Club Radio, Worldwide Jazz Radio, So Jazzy Radio, and 96.9 The Oasis. Tickets available on the Venmo app and Eventbrite. Sunday, August 25th for a smooth summer jazz and R&B night.
The Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Illuminatical, the think tank of the future. Illuminatical, a human think tank that brings scientists and engineers together from all over the world, has created a method to construct a renewable generator with this in mind. This unique product operates on a closed-loop system that generates more energy internally than it needs to function. The extra electricity can be used to run everything from homes and power grids to phones and laptops. This power source is entirely renewable, highly scalable, and more importantly, self-regenerating. For more information, visit facebook.com/Illuminatical. That's facebook.com/ELLUMENIPTICAL today. The Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Serena Wagner's book, The Sweet Psalmist, now available on Amazon. This book includes 30 exquisite paintings by well-known and unknown painters and King David Psalms. The Sweet Psalmist gives us a new perspective on his life in this book through the Psalms he wrote. His time as a shepherd in the field is where the book starts, and it goes on to describe his complicated and turbulent relationship with King Saul as well as other events. It's a story of love, betrayal, repentance, and more. It also offers advice on approaching God and living a life that pleases Him. Check out the book, The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, now available on Amazon. Keywords, Sweet Psalmist, Serena Wagner.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.